Well, hello and welcome to what amounts to football heaven. It doesn't get a whole lot better than this. The conditions are utopian. The sky is blue and the players are with us for a football match so widely and keenly anticipated. Truly, this is pristine, and the level of expectation and excitement is reflected in the smiling faces of the crowd. They know it means so much, and they also experience between them a great sense of privilege at being able to attend this most special of games. This place simply a monument to the game. So much prestige, so much pride, so much passion whenever football is played here. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Yeah, Harry Kane. He's a deadly finisher, Peter, obviously, but he can contribute much more than that for his team. He's got the physical presence to hold the ball up and the awareness to bring pretty much everyone else into play. His best attributes, however, might be his enthusiasm, his energy, and his desire to win, because those things become infectious to others.
Yeah, the easiest way to make a difference is to score, so no argument there. There's the whistle, and here we go. Sanchez. Manchester United have been mighty impressive away from home, unbeaten in 5. Van der Beek drives it forward. Lucas Moura. Musacchio. Sanchez. Sanchez plays it forward. Wan-Bissaka. Pogba. A mixture of good defending and indecisive passing. No progress. Sanchez. He's made sure that that won't get through.
Just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what are they trying to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to push the opposition wide.
He's gone for it! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
That's what all good teams do these days. Pressing from the front is highly effective.
Winks. Dele Alli pushes to get on the end of it. Now it's Lucas Moura. Still goalless at the moment. Pogba. Di Maria. Oh no, that's not the ball he wanted. Gorgeous control there. Dele Alli demonstrating fabulous determination. He just will not be beaten. And that's a throw-in. Van der Beek has a pop! Oh, no shortage of confidence there.
Well, the run was really impressive. The finish was depressive, and expectations were not met.
And here's Kane. Oh, the ball's come loose. And it's Aurier. Now it's Lucas Moura. Regardless of the outcome, it is good to see someone running at the defence like that.
Well, the crowd aren't happy. They wanted a shot and it didn't arrive.
Musacchio. Winks. Forward it goes. It's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Ali hits one! It's come back out! Di Maria. Van de Beek. Mbappe. Played out to the right. And he's cut it out. And here's Azar. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Manchester United with a decent chance here, and there's little doubt about who'll take it. A real opportunity here from a position of great potential. What a save! Terrific reactions! Tries to get it clear. Mbappe! Oh, it's a foul there, right on the edge of the box. No, the referee's judged that the offence took place outside the area.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score, and obviously he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
And the potential here for the first goal of the game. Di Maria ready to try one. Di Maria! Oh, that's fabulous! A finish right from the top draw. Oh, that is a bit special. Manchester United take the lead, 1-0.
Well, just listen to the reaction. I think you can hear the approval from the support all around the stadium.
Oh, real danger here. Going through. The breakthrough came in the final moments of the first period, and it's 1-0. Head, but couldn't steer it in.
Oh, no, that was a chance. What a chance.
And it's played forward. Looking to force his way through. Kane. He's got away. Lucas Moura gets through on his own. Oh, that was nice, but not quite the end product required.
Oh, it was such a clever pass that flummoxed the defence, and it could well be revisited, this.
And he just whacks it away. And there's the end of the first half. So there you have it, a close-fought half of football, but one that still had its moments, but ultimately produced just one goal. A more than decent game up to now.
Well, they showed glimpses of some wonderful football to go in with the lead at half-time, and that's definitely pleased the fans. I think they'll be looking to keep this intensity up now in the second half.
Manchester United looking to have the lead in a tight old game. Half-time, 1-0. Already up and running for the second half. A solitary goal that has been shaped to shoot! And for a moment, time stood still. Manchester United boast a very impressive defensive record of late. Sanchez. Nicely measured pass. That's great defensive work. It doesn't take too much imagination to guess what would have happened otherwise. Well, real chance! And in it goes! 2 up now, and they are cruising.
Yeah, looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
Manchester United get themselves a 2-goal cushion.
The turning of the screw comes to mind, Peter. They've got them where they want them.
Now it's Kane. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Out to the right. Throw it. Di Maria is on the end of some really unwanted attention.
Well, there's certainly a coordinated attempt to shut him down, which is, I suppose, a natural response.
Tries to dink it in. Well, he acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Yeah, the idea was right, the delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
Gets it back. Hazard clips one through. It's come loose. Oh, that is asking for trouble. Has a pop! And the follow-up! A really good feat. Played back in. It's a throw. In comes the cross. Keeper has beaten it away. Sanchez. He's got options out wide. Decent progress down the left. Di Maria already, of course, on the score sheet. Ali. Over to the left. Wan-Bissaka battles to win it back. And here's Dele Alli. Hazard tries to get it forward quickly. Face to face with the keeper. Shoots! Mbappe. Hazard. He's left his man. How about a shot? And the shot! They are rampant! And surely that settles it. Well, that always looked the likely outcome.
Yeah, and all engineered, Peter, by some smart running and movement. That's already something to admire, but how about the pass? Just wonderful. Loved it.
We have got changes here, from both sides, in fact. Manchester United take a 3-goal lead, and they are romping out of sight. That looks a foul. Yeah, referee's given it. Di Maria gets it and hits one! Defending of the desperate variety. Trezeguet. No way through there. Hoists it forward.
Tottenham Hotspur seem happy to bash their heads against the...
Mbappe! It's off target and by quite a way.
Manchester United just served up a reminder of how good they can be on the break. Their method is clear.
So 3-0 now, and surely there'll be no twists in the plot.
Tottenham Hotspur look completely out of sorts when it comes to crucial moments, Peter. They've lost composure and that killer instinct.
Good challenge, he just stood firm. No question, that's a foul. And that's going to be a booking.
Well, what goes through a player's head at times like that is a mystery to me.
What an adventurous run from a defender. Gets the better of his man.
Well, when the options aren't quite present in the box, it's the crosser's interest to hold on for the support.
2 minutes to be added on. Now it's Felipe Anderson. He gets past his man. Christian. Shot a goal! And he should have made it 4. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Manchester United are class apart. Opponents torn apart. They are comprehensive winners. Your final thoughts, Jim?
Yeah, they had a game plan which was about hammering away in central positions, and it paid off. For me, they were persistent and ruthless.
So that's it for today. Thank you, Jim, and good afternoon all.
Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in.
Manchester United are amongst one of 4 teams that have been invited to take part in this exclusive tournament, open only to the winners of the major continental club titles. One of the global elites, you would say. The title of the world's #1 club side is, I'm sure, one they would be only too keen to take home with glee. It is the opening game, and naturally expectations are high. Despite having just 4 teams taking part, it is a tournament with a knockout format. Winner takes all. So red and white, of course, the preeminent colours at Old Trafford, which is now officially the largest club football ground in England. Its capacity 75,000 and growing. Past tournaments have so often brought together the very best of so many different footballing cultures and principles, and we hope we're going to see all of that again.
Well, this is an opportunity, Peter, to show off the enthusiasm and desire to kickstart another rewarding campaign, hopefully. And we've seen some fine games in this tournament already. I think the quality has improved year on year. And to be honest, I'm not expecting a drop-off anytime soon.
Off we go then. Jim, which player is best equipped for this game?
Yeah, Paul Pogba. He could be a real game changer for this team, Peter. He's got the strength to hold off defenders and the technical ability to pick out a killer pass.
Has a pop! There it is!
What a start, and what a contribution from the main man. I had a feeling he might do something given his reputation, but to do it like that, absolutely brilliant. I wasn't expecting that.
That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing.
I think he just thought about trying his luck from further out there, but why bother when you can worm your way through a defence like that? It's terrific play to get through and score.
Manchester United have made their breakthrough, so can they build on it? Forward it goes. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Hoists it forward. There's a move that looked promising, but eventually thwarted without doing any harm. Mbappe battles to win it back. It's a very good battle there, terrific to watch. Well positioned to make that interception. Well, that's where he wants it. He's on his way. He spotted the run and played him through. Tries a shot! Yes, it's there!
Yeah, looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
That has certainly made things interesting.
Well, I think the players will be buoyed by the fact that they've managed to level things in a hurry. Tails most definitely up now.
That's a foul, no two ways about it. He gets the ticking off and needs to be very careful now.
Well, he knew what he was taking on there, Peter, and special delivery from the ref.
Oh, nearly, nearly. No, that's not the ball he wanted. Oh, he's broken through. He wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see. Alex Telles. Well, the scoreline is tight. The tie right on a knife edge. Cuts it out. Plays it out to the flank. That's a throw. And it's Son Heung-min. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, shooting chance! Oh, denied brilliantly.
Bruno Fernandes sparked a tremendous stop there, and I think it's fair to add, he just wasn't expecting it.
Knocks it away. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Son Heung-min. Here it is! Bruno Fernandes! And that's caused a worry or two.
Good effort, very good effort. He would have at least wanted to make the keeper work, though.
He's made sure that that won't get through. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. And it's played forward. Well, it did look promising to start with, but in the end they were thwarted before they could even make it into the final third. Played out to the right. Done very well to intervene. Bruno Fernandes tries to get it forward quickly. He goes long. Cut out in the nick of time. Gets good distance on it. Alex Telles. Son Heung-min. In comes the corner. Bruno Fernandes goes short. Oh, rip! Hits one! That's gone a long way up and away. Oh, good interception. Questions were asked, but he's given the answers. He's found his man. Shapes to shoot! Son Heung. And the semi-final reaches halfway. What it has been an even contest, as the scoreline suggests, and it has been more than decent to watch. And when they come for the break with nothing to separate them, the score 1-1. Already up and running for the second half. Rafael Varane. Mbappe. He's had a go! Oh, that's a terrific save from the keeper.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp. Well, that's the first attempt, Peter, we've seen at one of those raking passes just to spread the play.
Five. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. And he's going to have his name taken.
That's just very well played. He can't hurt you with his back to goal, and he didn't go for the back heel.
There's a long ball. Ball's loose, who's getting there? It's Cristiano Ronaldo! Another big chance that gets away.
Manchester United really are in the ascendancy here, and they know they have to register while that's the case.
And it's Pogba. He is not one readily to admit defeat. Don't be surprised if he tries that again. It's the through ball. Going for goal! Pogba. Forward it goes. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Big chance, must be! He's gone for it! Goal! Manchester United! Into the lead once more. Was there ever any doubt?
Well, was there ever any doubt? It made it look like he's done it over and over and over again, and he has.
Manchester United go into the lead. Has a hit!
That's what has to be done now, no question about it.
Well, this isn't the time to talk about risks now, Jim, is it? They just have to hurl everything at it and hope for a break.
Well, there's no two ways about it. This is what they have to do.
Goes for goal! Gets into a dangerous position. Big chance to get at them. Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Mbappe. Goalkeeper's ball. Talk about singling someone out.
Yeah, and having played his part in the goal, a tightening up was inevitable.
He's left his man. Oh, real danger here. Hits one! In it goes! And there's the goal they've been looking for.
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front. They really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
So we have a double substitution going on here. Well, that has changed the dynamic somewhat.
Well, everything is going to plan, Peter. A day for a regular managerial heartbeat, at least for one.
And the finish! Oh, should have put that away.
Well, they're definitely going about things the right way, Peter. A goal soon can bolster energy levels now.
Who's ball? Who's going to get there? Out to the right. Well read, he sorted that out. Could move up a gear here. Just brushed off the ball there.
Alex Telles simply had to make that count, and he did it with some authority too. Wonderful.
Hoists it forward. Cristiano Ronaldo. Good ball. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Keeper sends it forward. Well, he acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did well to spot the run. He just didn't get enough behind it. It happens.
Gets it upfield. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. And it's played forward. He's through the middle. Well played, he saw that coming. And that is it, the referee has seen enough. Manchester United have done it. Into the final, and they can taste glory now. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
You know, all four sides left at this stage could make a good case to win it. But this team looks like they believe their name is already on it.
Well, this tournament may only have been a week long, not even that, but in that very short time, it has been a real melting pot of footballing cultures from right around the world, unique to the continents represented by each of the teams taking part. There have been so many memorable displays of terrific sportsmanship, of fellowship, friendship, camaraderie, and the coronation to follow after this final will be its last memorable act. So red and white, of course, the preeminent colours at Old Trafford, which is now officially the largest club football ground in England. Its capacity 75,000 and growing. Well, Jim, you've seen a lot of this type of tournament. What are you thinking about it?
Yeah, these games, Peter, are a real learning curve because you're coming up against teams and individual opponents that are unlikely to stick to what you really like them to do. That plays on your concentration and your ability to improvise against what you're facing, whilst playing your part in your own team's tactics. So it really is time to switch on.
So, just who will seize their moment?
Look, we can only hope for a final that will be free-flowing and end-to-end and highly entertaining, but fear of defeat can often dominate emotions, so don't be surprised if it gets nervy and tense.
Pass needed to be better than that, and he knows it. McTominay is onto it and can take it up. Good distance on it. Sancho. Now the ball's come loose and the chase is on. Hoists it forward. And it's Gabriel. More than happy to take the muscular approach. He's through. And it's Gabriel. Gabriel looking for a decent ball in. Yeah, he's fouled him there. Defending of the desperate for... He's had a go! This could fall anywhere. Forward it goes. Rashford could try cutting inside here. He's got away. Rashford opts to play it back. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. And the counter is on. McTominay plays it forward.
Flamengo have pushed both fullbacks into quite advanced positions here.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what are they attempting to do? Well, he's gone for it! A great save, real class.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
Felipe, Flamengo cannot keep hold of the ball. Plays it back. Cristiano Ronaldo. Now the counter. Sancho. Nicely measured pass. Well read, he sorted that out. And it's played forward. And back to base. Gets it upfield. Ronaldo gets flagged offside. Sancho tries to get it forward quickly. There will be a throw-in. Goes out once more. And it's Rashford. Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. There could be trouble here, but for now the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket. And a real chance to break the deadlock. It certainly looks appetising, well within shooting range. Cristiano Ronaldo! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. Could that be the start of something big? And he's produced a beauty. Manchester United take the lead, landing the first significant blow in what is certainly a significant contest.
Well, Peter, the emphasis should now switch to winning it, rather than even thinking about losing it.
Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's got away. Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick.
Well, I think the alternative was to stand there and do nothing while he tried to score. Obviously, he's not going to allow that, Peter, is he?
And he's going to win. Oh, that is special! He's got himself a peach of a goal. They have grabbed themselves an equaliser. Dispatched expertly, nicely done. And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, they just couldn't have responded any better, Peter. Yeah, there's the old cliche about how teams can lose focus after scoring, but you still have to take your chances. Brilliant.
Forward it goes. Cristiano Ronaldo. Rashford. Has a hit! Big moment! Massive goal! Well, this is what we've been waiting for. And they've been caught out here. Rashford. Shot at goal! It's there! And they're at it again in double quick time. Jim, your thoughts?
It's rarely a problem when that much time is afforded in the penalty box. Nobody sensed where the danger was lurking, and the finish was made a lot easier.
Manchester United take a 2-goal lead and are looking good for the win.
Well, they're very much the better team at the moment, Peter, and no doubt will be looking to cause even more damage here.
The ball needed to be better there, it's a wasted chance. Could move up a gear here. Whistle's gone, and we've reached the halfway point of the final. Time in the final, Jim. How do you read it?
Manchester United have the lead, and obviously it's going to be the happier dressing room at half-time, but it'll be interesting to see what they do second half. I really think that they should push on and do more of what we saw as we approached half-time.
Manchester United are broadly in charge, but the contest is still alive at 3-1. And we are already promptly back underway. Keeper sends it forward. Oh, needless to say, he was expecting a better ball than that. McTominay. Bruno Fernandes. And it's Rashford. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. Plays it out to the wing. Timely intervention. Felipe. And it's got through. Finds himself eased off the ball. Good run, ultimately thwarted by an astute piece of defending. Crowd appreciates good football all round there. Tries to get it forward quickly. McTominay. Brings it forward. Bruno Fernandes.
Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision, because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Rashford is flagged offside. Final checks on the touchline. A change about to occur. Has a goal! That tested the keeper.
Well, the defence are in a good position to get behind the ball and let them just try from range.
Hit into the middle. Cut out in the nick of time. And now the breakaway. Gets away from his opponent. Big chance! It's anyone's ball. Trying to get there. He's had that put on a plate. Oh, the ball's come loose. McTominay has got himself a free kick. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning.
Well, it was deliberate, it was cynical, and you have to understand the frustration of being denied a clear opportunity, but it had to be done. And remember, Peter, that first goal came from a free kick, so why not a repeat?
He'll fancy himself from here. Cristiano Ronaldo! Oh, that's brilliant! A finish of true class! And the lead is extended still further. Oh, that is a bit special. So now the difference is 3. And here's Gabriel. Kennedy has come steaming up from the back for this. Loose ball, who's going to get that? Rashford. Rashford gets it out to the wing. He's left his man. He's hit one! And more! That is his third! Who can stop him?
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front. They really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
He snaffles his third, and that earns him the match ball.
That defence must be sick of the sight of him. He's been persistent and ruthless all game. He just hasn't stopped working.
Things looking so easy, almost too easy here.
No doubt as to who has the momentum here now. The only doubt is how many is coming.
That's offside. Yes, it is. Couple of changes then in quick succession.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle.
Get that clear. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside.
Look, Peter, this just needs a little fine-tuning, and obviously fast.
It's pretty clear that he's being singled out.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? Only after he's just notched a third.
Defenders on the back foot. Well weighted. Rashford gets the better of his man. Shoots! They scored! Well, surely that completes the demolition if it hadn't occurred already.
It's part of the game, Peter. It has to get ruthless. Sympathy just doesn't play a part.
Manchester United tear their opponents apart once again. They are utterly ruthless.
Well, unsurprisingly, Peter, the opposition look completely stunned. I'm not sure they can gather themselves.
Hoists it high. Gabriel! And that's wide. Manchester United making consecutive changes here. Mata being applauded off here, having made a sizable contribution.
Look, you can only give your all, and he's delivered.
It's an untidy challenge, free kick given. Receives it from behind. Beautifully done. And here's Rashford, has a pop! Lovely bit of skill. It's a very good battle there, terrific to watch. Rashford. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Cristiano Ronaldo! And it's played forward. A real chance to break. Mbappe. Kennedy goes direct to the front line. Goalkeeper's ball. Azar. Done very well to intervene. And now they can launch a counter. Mbappe. And there goes the final whistle. Simply, the big day was their day. A day for them and their fans. A truly proud line in their history. So on to centre stage come the central characters. The individuals who, as a team, blended into champions. And this is their moment.
Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in.
Well, sadly for those who are exposed to the elements, I'm afraid that the clouds have opened up and it is teeming down here. There are some fans who are going to get very, very wet. Having said which, there are almost no empty seats. It is a terrific turnout under the circumstances. There's nowhere else to go, in truth, if you want to see this much-anticipated game. So, come rain or come shine, we are here and really looking forward to it. Old Trafford rising to the occasion as only Old Trafford can. Some terrific scenes at the Stretford end. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
One of the game's best ever, Cristiano Ronaldo. He brings the power to whatever he does, and his unquenchable thirst for goals is always an enjoyable sideshow. It's very rare he fails to leave his mark.
Yeah, the easiest way to make a difference is to score, so no argument there. So it's away we go then. And the through ball is intercepted. Pogba drives it forward. Ronaldo plays it out to the flank. Mbappe! Room for a shot. Hoists it forward. Well played, he saw that coming. Lindelof goes back to base. Forward it goes. Manchester United have been very strong. Mbappe! Mighty close.
That's just plain unlucky. There were many, me included, who thought that was going in.
And it's played forward. He's going after it. Tries to get it forward quickly. Manchester United boast a very impressive defensive record of late. Pogba goes looking. Chance to squeeze it through. No, not quite. Forward it goes. Lindelof battles to win it back.
That's just very well played. He can't hurt you with his back to goal, and he didn't go for the back heel.
Oh, what a ball! It's Antonio. Vlasic. Vlasic. Good challenge, he just stood firm.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
Good idea, just poorly executed. Away from immediate danger. Sancho plays it forward. Good take, and he's had a look. Hoists it forward. And it's Antonio. Antonio gets it out to the wing. Finds himself eased off the ball. Vlasic.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
It's Antonio. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Tries to get it forward quickly. Antonio. That's one way of trying to make things happen. There's a few who could follow that example. And it's Antonio. Over to the left. Tries lifting it over. Oh, that's a fine challenge. And it's played forward. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Out to the left it goes. He gets past his man. Zuma tries to get it forward quickly. Forward it goes. Goes long. To a promising move. Cristiano Ronaldo. Pogba plays it forward. Mbappe has a goal! Superb goal!
And always such a great time to score. A brilliant boost before you head in for half-time, and you can guarantee that dressing room will be buzzing now.
His position was perfect, the invitation was there for him, and his response absolutely clinical.
Yeah, and all engineered, Peter, but...
There's the whistle for half-time. There we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half. There has only been that one goal, which is very, very good.
Well, that certainly pleased the fans, and the players are definitely happy with that scoreline. The question is now, can they protect it?
Manchester United, the happier of the teams. Has a... He scored! And there's the goal they've been looking for.
And as soon as they made that error in midfield, they didn't have time to react before the ball hit the net. Very much a lesson learned.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Well, with this kind of authority, Peter, why not push on and totally kill this off?
Into the channel. He's got options out wide. Can't get the better of his opposite number. Well, the crowd clearly like what they just saw. Some real no-nonsense defending. Rice goes direct to the front line. Bruno Fernandes drives it forward. It's Cristiano Ronaldo! Just a fraction high.
Cristiano Ronaldo probably tried a bit too hard then. He should have relied on technique as opposed to power.
Vlasic tries to dink it in. Lanzini showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Bruno Fernandes. Tries to get it clear. Tries a header! He's pulled off a fine save.
Well, as test goalkeeper, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
Massive leap! Another big chance that gets away.
Manchester United really putting a few chances together here. Taking one can only add to such good momentum now.
Vlasic. He spotted the run and played him through. Now it's Lanzini. Sancho tries to locate someone up front. Hoists it forward. That's the sort of defending that is going to upset the opposition. It already has, actually.
Yeah, now that he's scored, this defence is on high alert whenever he goes anywhere near the ball.
Great leap! That's gone a long way up and away. Antonio, good running with the ball. Can they build on it? Done very well to intervene. No question, that's a foul. And it's Pogba. Has a hit! And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Areola gets it upfield. The message is clear, none shall pass. Mbappe. Zuma positions himself well and cuts it out.
They've been denied a chance to develop any rhythm in the passing department.
Hits one! Danger averted for now. Being played forward. Vlasic! A collective sigh of relief from the defence. Rice drives it forward. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Pogba. Cut out in the nick of time. Zuma tries to get it forward quickly. Wan-Bissaka goes looking. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes! And the ball's come out! Oh, it looked like 3-0 for sure.
He'll be fuming with himself for not converting. He could have killed it off.
And it's played forward. Alex Telles. Forward it goes. Bruno Fernandes. That's been won straight back. It's broken loose. Vlasic. And it's Antonio. Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. He's gone through and he's had a quick look up to meet it. That's a half-decent try.
Lanzini did give it a fair old crack, and he'll be encouraged to step up again.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. So we have a double substitution going on here. And the referee brings it to a close. Manchester United away with the win. A job really well done in all departments. A real sum-of-the-parts team effort. So Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
Yeah, they had a game plan which was about hammering away in central positions, and it paid off. For me, they were persistent and ruthless.
And that's it for tonight's match, so it just remains for me to thank Jim Begden alongside me and to wish you all a very good evening.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway and cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right? Shape the mind, speeding up the pace, turning up the heat, where I need to be for the first time. I'm taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway and cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel?
Well, hello, good afternoon to one and all. Like you, we are very much ready to go here and looking forward to a game It has been the topic for universal conversation in this part of the world for much of the last few days. It's dry at the moment, but the forecasters have warned us of impending rain. There's no certainty about that, but when it does come, it shouldn't affect the dynamics of a match which has so much riding on it. One glance and you know where we are. It is one of the most recognisable arenas for the beautiful game in the world. And boy, does it add to the occasion. It does seem to be a 4-3-3, Jim.
Well, a system promoted by the rise of total football, Peter. The wider players in the front three are key operators in how it all works on and off the ball. They have to provide for the central striker, of course, and protect their fullbacks, so they'll get few breathers. If these two don't make a good impression, there are quite good replacements on the bench.
So it's away we go then. So Jim, tell me this, who are you looking for in particular here?
Yeah, Paul Pogba. He could be a real game changer for this team, Peter. He's got the strength to hold off defenders and the technical ability to pick out a killer pass. He can also shoot with great power and accuracy. He's a real midfield dynamo, actually, capable of winning a tackle in his own half and then charging downfield to make something happen.
Bruno Fernandes! Oh, that's amazing! A stellar strike from the skipper!
Well, from our impartial perch, you couldn't ask for a more spectacular start to a game. And with the skipper responsible too, it just lends the moment a bit more oomph. And let's hope it carries on in a similar vein.
What a clean hit. No one gets in the way of that.
Is it just me, or did he make that look very, very easy? That was terrific skill and composure from him. He finished with such aplomb.
Manchester United grab an early lead. Good start. Hoists it forward. Kouyaté tries to get it forward quickly. Martial. He's gone for it! Oh, that is rather wayward.
I think he still deserves full marks for making his way through. It was a cracking run.
Manchester United have been very strong away from home, still to lose on the road. He's one-on-one, shot, has a hit! He scored! The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
I think he just thought about trying his luck from further out there, but why bother when you can worm your way through a defence like that? It's terrific play to get through and score.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, there's resilience for you, Peter. As a side, they never lost focus despite the set.
It's Martial! And it's hoisted clear. Through. Seems now to be all about width.
Well, when you have the personnel to create in wide areas, then they need to see as much of the ball as possible.
Bruno Fernandes! And the defence can get it clear. Good idea, just poorly executed. Bruno Fernandes, and the finish! Goal! Manchester United! And they've got their lead back. Lovely goal, perfect poise to set himself for the strike. He's made it 2, and no doubt he's hungry for more. Manchester United go into the lead. Dan drives it forward. And he just whacks it away. That intervention was very necessary. And it's played forward. And the through ball is intercepted. Martial. Mbappe. Varane positions himself well and cuts it out. And it's Martial. Dan goes looking. And the counter is on. Played out to the right. Ayew. Aimed in towards the centre. Too long, and over the line. Looking to hit the front line. Ball needed to be better there, it's a wasted chance. Drives it towards the front.
That's just very well played. He can't hurt you with his back to goal, and he didn't go for the back heel.
Coaxed through there. Mbappe. Martial shoots! Forward it goes. Up towards the front line. Questions were asked, but he's given the answers. Pogba. Ward catches it safely. And it's played forward. Well, he acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did well to spot the run. He just didn't get enough behind it. It happens.
Ward, well, they came to that. Hoists it forward. Varane cuts it out. Over to the left. Gets away from his opponents. Varane has been caught there, it's a foul. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Forward it goes. And now they can launch a counter. Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. So a really good half of football. 3 goals, and just one separating them.
It's kind of a hard one to call, Peter, isn't it? I mean, from what we've seen so far, both sides have provided ample evidence that they can add more goals, and I'm sure their respective managers have reminded them that the next one will be pretty crucial. So it's going to be interesting to see how the teams come out for the next period.
Well, it remains very delicately poised, and based on the promise we've seen through the first 45 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised if this takes another twist or two. It certainly would be in keeping.
Manchester United head into the half-time break with a narrow lead, 2-1. We're promptly into the second 45 minutes. Now it's Ayew. That's a foul. A simple decision for the referee. It's off target and by quite a way.
That was good defensive pressure to give him less manoeuvring room.
Looks to bypass the midfield. And back to base. Keeper's got good distance on that. Kouyaté. Kouyaté goes looking. Manchester United have the league's best defensive record.
This defence just doesn't trust itself to play a higher line.
Frighten the people getting in behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It just opens up the opportunity of not only strikers getting behind, but the runners from midfield too.
It's on a plate. He wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see. Mbappe! Really well taken goal. A two-goal lead and they're firmly in control. That has brought the house down. What a wonderful hit.
That is just the top drawer finish. He was always in control and couldn't have placed it any better.
Manchester United take a two-goal lead and are looking good for the win.
Listen, it's up to them now how they think about it from here, because for me it's crying out for them to force the issue.
Kouyaté. Kouyaté drives it forward. Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. Talk about singling someone out.
Yeah, Peter, and it looks like this defence will go tooth and nail to prevent him from getting another.
Oh, that is asking for trouble. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Now some movement on the bench, and we are going to see a change. More than happy to take the muscular approach. Hazard pushes to get on the end of it. Pogba doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Varane tries to get it forward quickly. Ward sends that a long way. Dan goes looking. Rashford. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. He ran himself into trouble there, free kick given away. Dan gets his final warning.
Well, I think the referee would have told him to rate it in or suffer the consequences.
And he's there to clear it. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Cleared without complication. It's being played forward. Oh, good interception. Rashford. Kouyaté drives it forward. Battles to win it back. Manchester United making consecutive changes here.
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to see that the crowd appreciate his efforts, because he has put in a real honest shift.
Gets the better of his man. Hit into the middle. Meret has that under control. Mbappe, who's made his mark on this game. Oh, that's clearly not what he wanted to do. Hoists it forward. That's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Dashing forward at pace. Mbappe. He's picked him out, and this is Son Heung, and the shot! They are rampant! And they are pulling clear here. Son Heung-min with the smoothest one-on-one finish. He is one very cool customer.
Yeah, and he knew all along what he wanted to do, and it's a really great instinctive finish.
Well, it's an inspired substitution. Terrific move by the boss.
That's how you make an impact as a sub. You know, when most are tiring, you can impose a freshness and energy to best effect. What an introduction.
Manchester United grab a 3-goal lead. It's just too easy. Plays it out to the flank. Well, the crowd clearly like what they just saw. Some real no-nonsense defending. Bruno Fernandes has a hit! He's kicked it out, just. And it's been taken short. Pogba. Mbappe has a shot! Rashford plays it short. Big chance! Chance to break. Brings it forward. Real chance! And with the goal at his mercy, a dreadful miss. Final checks on the touchline. A change about to occur.
Well, he's worked so hard for his side, as you would expect, but you couldn't help notice that he was starting to labour a bit, so it's no surprise.
Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. A demolition, destruction, annihilation. They simply ran away with it. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Manchester United simply made their superiority count. They found cruise control quite early and didn't need to go to turbo.
Well, that's it from us. Thanks very much, Jim. It's a very good day to you from both of us. Well, sadly for those who are exposed to the elements, I'm afraid that the clouds have opened up and it is teeming down here. There are some fans who are going to get very, very wet. Having said which, there are almost no empty seats. It is a terrific turnout under the circumstances. There's nowhere else to go, in truth, if you want to see this much-anticipated game. So, come rain or come shine, we are here and really looking forward to it. Certainly this is a very, very impressive venue. Quite a sight to behold. So facing up here to a team that has been the league's whipping boys in recent weeks, they really are on a terrible slide.
That is true, and there's an obvious lack of confidence, which can develop into outright fear when morale and spirit is affected to this extent, Peter. Escaping this type of downturn can be helped by the first goal, obviously, and they desperately need it on this occasion.
There's the whistle. So in 90 minutes we will be at exactly the halfway point of this season. Just brushed off the ball there. Mbappe. Manchester United have this frantic spell of games. And the shot! Defending of the desperate variety. A real chance to break. And it's Sissoko. McTominay battles to win it back. Now a chance to break. Cristiano Ronaldo! He's delivered all right!
It's hardly a surprise, is it? That's what we're here for, a player with this wonderful knack of being able to show up and deliver at important times. Yet another example.
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward in numbers too. That was all very well drilled.
Manchester United go ahead, 1 goal to the good. Keeper sends it forward. Was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Manchester United have been very strong away from home, still to lose on the road. Bruno Fernandes. Mbappe. Cleared away. Chance! Oh, just wide.
Oh, how close was that to going in? It only required the smallest of tweaks.
Forward it goes. Ball needed to be better there, it's a wasted chance. Brings it forward. Mbappe. Bruno Fernandes. It's a fine challenge and it goes his way.
Peter, we can only applaud that quality of tackle in the circumstances. It was probably goal-saving.
Sancho, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Gets it upfield. Ronaldo tries running with the ball at his feet. And it's played forward. Has he picked him out? has a goal! They've scored!
And it's another really good show of character. I love the spirit and togetherness they muster. Never know when they're beaten. Looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
That has certainly made things interesting.
Well, look, Peter, who knows what's about to happen from here? I doubt this will be the final score, though.
Well, the defence got the better of him this time, but I'm sure he'll go again. Lobs it in gently. He's got options out wide. Gets the better of his man.
Well, I don't think it was the wisest option, Peter, once he got into that position. It's not as if he didn't have people nearby.
Ronaldo goes looking. Sissoko. Good running with the ball. Can they build on it? Sancho. Cristiano Ronaldo. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. He's left his man. Son Heung-min plays it forward. Mbappe with a delicate ball. The less said about that pass, the better. That's been drilled forward. Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Loose ball, who's going to get there? Mbappe is fouled.
Yeah, it would seem a little too far out, and this will probably be a dink far post.
He'll fancy himself from here. Cristiano Ronaldo! Oh, that's brilliant! A finish of true class! And they've got their lead back. Oh, that is a bit special. So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Well, that's the currency he deals in, and he's come good yet again. Never the one to let you down in these situations.
Hoists it high, and help's available out wide. Well, no, that is pretty much the end of that. And they've been caught out here. And through to the goalkeeper. Tries to get it forward quickly. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. Looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. And the ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances. Bruno Fernandes having a look.
Roughly the same range and distance from which they scored, so maybe the same outcome.
Oh, how good is he? Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. All too easy. They are in danger of disappearing out of sight. Dispatched expertly, nicely done. He snaffles his third, and that earns him the match ball.
Well, he's been the outstanding player on the pitch and devastating in front of goal. What a display, what a player.
Manchester United go 2 up and into a position of real strength.
Well, unsurprisingly, Peter, the opposition look completely stunned. I'm not sure they can gather themselves.
They've managed to get it away. And it's been taken straight back. The referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time.
Well, Peter, I think the score is a fair reflection of what we've witnessed so far, and that being good movement in both midfield and indeed up front. If those players, I think, can carry on where they left off after the break, they should impose themselves even more, and probably only one result coming here.
Well, that has been a goal-blessed half. It is 3... He's had a go! Shot a goal! And it's there! And the lead is 3! It is surely done! Oh, high-quality goal. Lovely first touch, sumptuous second. Manchester United blast themselves into a 3-goal lead. Musa Sissoko. He's through, now is he in? Tries a shot! Bruno Fernandes drives it forward. Finds himself eased off the ball. Deep cross.
Oh, it's an unusual turn of events, and it was an honest attempt to help out, and I suppose it can happen to anyone.
Fortuitous as it may have been, they all count 1. Bruno Fernandes. Breaks on here. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Mbappe is onto it and can take it up. Another chance from a corner. Dawson is there to heave it away. Hoists it forward. Plays it out to the flank. Gets away from his opponent. Aimed in towards the centre. Incredible! Another own goal!
Oh, it's terribly unfortunate for them, and maybe we can attribute that to a loss of focus.
Fortuitous as it may have been, they all count 1. Well, that's where he wants it. Questions were asked, but he's given the answers. Mbappe. Cristiano Ronaldo. Dawson plays it forward. Totthem. Totthem plays it forward quickly. Here's the through ball. More than happy to take the muscular approach. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. Well, that looks like a final warning, still no card. Oh, sweet feet. It's Gosling. Musa Sissoko. Ronaldo is on the end of some really unwanted attention.
Well, better late than never, Peter, although it may not apply in this case.
Mbappe! He has done it! And this is getting better and better.
Manchester United are really pouncing on any stray passes in midfield. We're talking seconds from interception to the back of the net. It's counter-attacking heaven.
So there's going to be another change here. Manchester United take a 2-goal lead and are looking good for the win.
That has the feeling of a breath of fresh air, Peter, and now they can fill their lungs and just blow them away.
Dawson with a searching ball. Gosling. And that's been one big chance! Forward it goes. Totthem up towards the front line. Well positioned to make that interception. Mbappe dinks one in. Good idea, just poorly executed. Totthem. Tries to get it forward quickly. So not long left in this now. So it is looking now like 12 points from 12. Mbappe!
Oh, super tackle. They were outnumbered and under the cosh. That had to be spot on, and it was.
Gosling has created one goal already. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Gosling. Defenders on the back foot. Sissoko. Gosling. Tries lifting it over. Goes for goal! He's missed, but not by that far.
Good effort, very good effort. He would have at least wanted to make the keeper work, though.
Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. Referee has seen that as a dive.
Well, he knows very well that was never a foul. He has made himself look ridiculous.
And that is it, the referee has seen enough. Manchester United claim victory here, and on balance they were worth it. What are your thoughts on today's game then, Jim?
Yeah, and a result that was true to form. A big team beating a not-so-big team, and a lesson dealt.
And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening.
Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little cigarettes, staring at the moon. We'd go to bed in my arms. You're safe and sound without a threat, and I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit long? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit long? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. Completely alone.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, I don't need to go around anymore. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway and cancel the cruise control. Switching the manual. Don't you wanna feel right? Stop stalling in the doorway and cancel the cruise control. Switching the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel?
world where football really matters, there is a healthy tension, great expectation building in the lead-up to kick-off here. A little bit grey overhead, and indeed the forecast is for a drop or two of rain as the day grows older. But regardless of that, there is a lovely backdrop here. The ambience is good, smashing noise from both sets of supporters, and expectations high in both camps. And this must be amongst the favoured arenas of supporters all over the world. It really does have a very special feel to it. It is our understanding that they've gone with a 4-5-1.
Well, this setup, Peter, can be very defensive if that midfield is in place purely to form a protective layer in front of the back four. But it can also be the launch pad to very quick counter-attacks. If you can offer pace and accuracy on the front foot, it can have a devastating effect, actually, at the offensive end of the pitch too.
And we're... Manchester United were imperious when the two sides last met, and the fans are asking for more of the same. Mbappe. Adama Traore. Jordi Alba gets it back. Dendonka. Breaks on here. Mbappe. Mbappe! Oh, denied brilliantly.
The keeper really dug out his defence then. A magnificent effort.
Forward it goes. Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba plays it forward. Van der Beek. Good challenge, he just stood firm. And the counter is on. Nelson Semedo. Varane does well to read it and intercepts. Semedo goes upfield. Tries to get it forward quickly. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. Ruben Neves. Seems now to be all about width.
Well, when you have the personnel to create in wide areas, then they need to see as much of the ball as possible.
Adama Traore. And that's another throw. That's been drilled forward. Done very well to intervene. Just a... Mbappe! Oh, no shortage of confidence there.
He's the one player you want on the ball running at defences, and that's precisely why.
Cristiano Ronaldo. He's off on a maraud. Mbappe! No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Battles to win it back. Mbappe gets my vote as one of the men of the moment.
Yeah, he's very much a man with a mission. He's getting a run of games, he's scoring goals, and his team is winning games. Listen, it's all rosy in the garden.
Still goalless. Manchester United are looking pretty solid right now in a period of the game when they have been vulnerable. Di Maria desperately wants to get on the end of this. Pogba. Pogba drives it forward. Van der Beek showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Varane cuts it out. Mbappe.
Peter, we can only applaud that quality of tackle in the circumstances. It was probably goal-saving.
He's got away with one there.
A chance that's created through very good grafting. Did well to...
Mbappe! Goal! Manchester United! Manchester United take the lead.
Manchester United are looking strong on the break. Winning the ball in midfield is one thing, but it's their clever use of counter-attacking. That's the real highlight.
Manchester United take the lead.
Yeah, and they know there's plenty of work left in this one, Peter, before they can actually say that the job is over.
Manchester United finish the first half strongly, as so often they do. Manchester United have it back and they can go again. Oh, they can break here. Just brushed off the ball there. Pedro Neto is onto it and can take... Up to meet it! Good delivery, no joy.
Now that was a slick move, and there were several options in the box to pick out.
Ronaldo. It's Cristiano Ronaldo! And he nearly went all the way.
Cristiano Ronaldo just might have got a little ahead of himself then. Maybe he had too much thinking time.
They're guilty of lacking inventiveness here. It's all broken down. He's made sure that that won't get through. Semedo tries to stroke it through. Played into space out wide.
Well, no question as to who's winning the battle in midfield at the moment. Some very impressive pressing in place here.
And the first 45 minutes are up. And there we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, you obviously have to give credit to the front men for the half-time lead, but I think the midfield can really pat themselves on the back too. They worked tirelessly for me.
Manchester United having to have the lead in a tight old game. Half-time, 1-0. And the action is back underway. Manchester United carrying a one-goal lead. He's picked him out. It's on he's gone for it! And out to safety. Time and again they are repelled. Quick glance at... Oh, shooting chance! That's gone a long way up and away. Through. Adama Traore. Hoists it forward. Pedro Neto looks to get on the end of this.
Yeah, it looks like a change of approach, and it may just freshen things up.
Mbappe! Son Heung-min gets it back, and the finish! Semedo is there, and he can get that clear. Crossed in. Cross deflected behind for a corner. Away from immediate danger. It's being played forward.
Manchester United really are almost trying to pass the ball through a brick wall at the moment. You can see the sense of anxiety has now shifted to the staff.
Goes for goal! He's looking to get there first.
Well, I think when you're in that situation, all you can do is tip your hat to the keeper, because that was fantastic.
Dendoncker goes long. He's got options out wide.
That's what has to be done now, no question about it.
Now, this isn't the time to talk about risks now, Jim, is it? They just have to hurl everything at it and hope for a break.
Well, there's no two ways.
That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Right through the middle. Questions were asked, but he's given the answers. And that is as far as they're going to go. Played in with accuracy. Quick ball forward. Has he found his man? And it's been given away. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. And it's played forward. Cristiano Ronaldo! They've done it! A two-goal lead, and they're firmly in control.
Yeah, looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
The changes then in quick succession. Manchester United get themselves a two-goal cushion.
Well, at 1-0 this contest was still nicely poised, but now that it's gone to 2, mindsets are affected a lot more. Winning belief one way and that losing feeling the other.
Goes direct to the front line. Just a quarter of an hour to play. Pedro Neto. Ruben Neves. Dendoncker. Nelson Semedo. Forward it goes. Oh, good interception. Van der Beek plays it forward. For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Out to the left it goes. That'll be a throw. So So a substitution here, and the form player is coming on, raring to go. Pedro Neto, not easily shrugged off the ball. And it's Ruben Neves. Now the counter. Mbappe. And help's available out wide. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Looking to break out here. Shoots! This could fall anywhere! Adama Traore. Drives it towards the front. Well played, he saw that coming. Dendonka. Time added on will be 2 minutes. Looking to hit the front line. So that's it, it is all over. So they bask in their win, a genuinely professional performance and a result which is well deserved. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Yeah, they had a game plan which was about hammering away in central positions, and it paid off. For me, they were persistent and ruthless.
Just remains for me to thank Jim Beglin for joining us and to wish you a very good day. Well, hello, and a chilly good evening from us. Just want to offer some sort of a warm welcome on this coldest of evenings to those of you settling down in front of the fire. For the benefit of those who weren't aware, there was a pitch inspection here a couple of hours ago, as a result of which, gladly, it was deemed safe for the game to kick off as scheduled. The ground staff have done a really terrific job in clearing all of that snow, and their efforts, I am delighted to report, have indeed paid off. Old Trafford rising to the occasion as only Old Trafford can. Some terrific scenes at the Stretford end. Who do you think this turns on, Jim?
Well, a player who's learned fast for me is Luke Shaw, a fullback who likes to involve himself in matters at the offensive end of the pitch, and he covers the ground with speed and a good work ethic, so I think he's coming on really well.
Yes, he'd be my pick too. It's going to be all about how they get the best out of him. So it's away we go then. Cristiano Ronaldo. And through to the goalkeeper. And it's Cavani. Lobs it in gently. Cavani gets flagged offside. Keeper sends it forward. Bertrand. He's got options out wide. Hits it first time! Oh, good delivery, almost the perfect outcome.
Manchester United can defend those situations better by stopping the crosser at source.
Oh, that's clearly not what he wanted to do. Now it's Cavani. Bruno Fernandes. Ronaldo gets it, and now what? Gets good distance on it. Up towards the front line. Now it's Cavani, and the shot! That has certainly tested the keeper.
Cavani simply didn't do anything wrong. He was thwarted by brilliance.
And he's there to clear it. Oh, smart save. And the volley. Keeper's not concerned by that.
Look, it was achievable, Peter, but it needed his best.
He's pinged one through here. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Has a pop! Goal! Manchester United! Manchester United take the lead.
Looking back at that, that's how you play on the counter. Quick and decisive and ruthless with the finish. I thought it was a stunning, stunning breakaway.
Big occasion, big goal, crucial lead. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Looking for a decent ball in. Well read, he sorted that out. Bruno Fernandes. Now it's Cavani. Ball through needs to be good here. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. And it's Cavani. And here's... has a goal! Tries to get it forward quickly. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Hoists it forward. Done very well to intervene. Could move up a gear here. And the weighted pass. It's a brilliant interception. Keeper's got good distance on that. Questions were asked, and he's given the answers. Oh, it's opened up, not goes for goal! And that would have been some goal.
Well, at least the crowd are appreciative of his efforts.
Played into space out wide. Great leap! He's pulled off a fine save.
Well, that was high-class goalkeeping there to back up his high-class wage.
And that has been cleared. Plays it out to the flank. Up to meet it! Another header, but again the same outcome.
How hard can it be to time a jump with the right contact? It's not that difficult, is it?
Sancho. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, it really is one cross after another.
Well, with a target to hit, why not keep up the supply? It's simple and efficient because...
Oh, shooting chance! There's a goal! They are right back in business. The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Burke showed real composure then. I mean, how often do you see a player do everything right until he gets into the box, only to completely kind of fluff the finish? Not him.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, look, Peter, who knows what's about to happen from here? I doubt this will be the final score, though.
Oh, good interception. Cavani. Burke looks to thread it through. Di Maria goes looking. And it's Bertrand. McTominay. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's through. He's in, surely. Tries to locate someone up front. And the first 45 minutes are up. Well, it has been an even contest, as the scoreline suggests, and it has been more than decent to watch. So there was the first half.
Oh, what a half of football. It's 1-1, but it could easily be 3-3 or more. Breakneck speed brilliance.
It's been a really interesting game up to now, and the sides are predictably very well matched. Hoping perhaps for a little bit more from both parties in the second half, but as it stands, it's one each. So we're just settling back into this second half. So both teams emerge the same as they were before the break. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Shot a goal! They score!
Well, this guy is just not your average footballer. Alert and sharp. And while one or two others were still digesting the manager's half-time team talk, he's already delivering another lead. What a good player.
All over in seconds. That's what they can do to you.
Well, talking about being hit on the break, the ball was in their net before they could even organise their defence. It was fast and furious, and all but unstoppable.
Manchester United get themselves into the lead.
Surprise, surprise. He just keeps on delivering, and listen, we all expect that.
It's wrestled off the ball. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. Well, he can't say now that he hasn't been warned. And it's Bertrand. Bertrand plays it in. De Gea deals with it effortlessly. Sancho. Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes. Too much on it, and that's the keeper's. Well, that's where he wants it. The ball needed to be better there, it's a wasted chance. Massive lead! Oh, that's a terrific save from the keeper.
Well, as tests go, Peter, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
Cut out in the nick of time.
That's what has to be done now, no question about it.
Well, hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Spot on, Peter.
Cuts it out. And he's made sure that that won't get through. He's through the middle. Little accusatory stare there tells the whole story.
Look, the game is full of ifs and buts. If only the pass could have completed its journey.
Shaped for an overhead. Worth a try. Shame about the outcome.
Oh, that's fantastic improvisation he showed there. Adjusted himself very quickly, but it's rare that they come off.
And it's played forward. Played out to the right. And help's available out wide. Di Maria. Well, the ball's come loose and the chase is on. That's the sort of defending that is going to upset the opposition. It already has, actually.
Yeah, now that he's scored, this defence is on high alert whenever he goes anywhere near the ball.
Now a chance to break. Sancho. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
Forward it goes. Well played, he saw that coming.
Peter, they have to fight the onset of desperation and keep enough cool heads to still deliver.
Has a pop! He has done it! Two to the good! They have breathing space!
What a great finish, but how about the touch? It just allowed him to put the ball exactly where he wanted it, and the rest became a formality.
He's made it three. Quite a day at the office for him.
That defence must be sick of the sight of him. He's been persistent and ruthless all game. He just hasn't stopped working.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting.
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to see that the crowd appreciate his efforts, because he has put in a real honest shift.
Manchester United are 2 up and into a position of real strength. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's found his man. He's left his man. He's gone for it! And it's there! And the lead is 3! It is surely done!
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they perfected that on the training ground, because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front. They really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
Well, it's an inspired substitution. Terrific move by the boss.
Well, the instruction from the manager would have been, go on and make yourself a nuisance and see if you can snatch a goal. Mission accomplished.
There's going to be another change here.
Well, he's worked so hard for his side, as you would expect, but you couldn't help notice that he was starting to labour a bit, so it's no surprise.
So he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning. McTominay. Hazard. Oh, he's found... It's Cristiano Ronaldo! And in it goes! Surely now they are well and truly out of sight. No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Cristiano Ronaldo
Really showed good strength there, held his man off, didn't let himself get bullied, and got his effort away. Maintained control.
4 in the game. He is the man. Manchester United tear their opponents apart once again. They are utterly ruthless.
Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous spell for them, and they're starting to look unstoppable. There could be more on the way.
Shaw plays it forward. Well positioned to make that interception. Hoists it forward. Burke. Out for a throw. Ball's out. It'll be a throw in again. McTominay gets it back. Rashford, big shot and the shot! They've scored! And still they continue with the onslaught.
It's part of the game, Peter. It has to get ruthless. Simply just doesn't play a part.
It's become a kick. And that's it. Manchester United enjoy their perfect day. For their victims, it is entirely imperfect. Comprehensive winners of a one-sided contest. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
Manchester United simply imposed their strength from start to finish, and this became as predictable as predicted.
Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in.
The sky is blue, and the players are with us for a football match so widely and keenly anticipated. Truly, this is pristine, and the level of expectation and excitement is reflected in the smiling faces of the crowd. They know it means so much, and they also experience between them a great sense of privilege at being able to attend this most special of games.
So red and white, of course, the preeminent colours at Old Trafford, which is now officially the largest club football ground in England. Its capacity 75,000 and growing.
So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Yeah, Kylian Mbappe. There's nothing more frightening for a defender when he's running at you at full speed. He gets into a stride so quickly and seems to just glide across the turf. But when the goal's in front of him, he's also got that cool head that's required to pick a spot and finish everything off.
Yeah, hard to see past him. He'll be looking to put on a show, I'm certain of that. There's the whistle. Son Heung-min. Oh, that's clearly not what he wanted to do. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Mbappe! Cut out in the nick of time. Fulham have statistically the worst defence in the league. Terence Kongolo. Mawson. Terence Kongolo spreads it towards the left. Pogba. Pogba goes looking. Manchester United have this enviable home record, still undefeated up to now. Tete. Kearney. Seri. And here's Cristiano. It's Cristiano Ronaldo! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay.
Well, the work rate to win the ball back was fantastic, and it set up the opportunity. That's great effort.
Forward it goes. Needed a better pass there. Tete finds himself back in the starting side for the first time in a while. Brian. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals. Gets the better of his man. Defender's on the back foot. And he's there to cut it out. Bruno Fernandes. And he's there to clear it. Loses his balance and loses the ball. Kearney. Tries to get it forward quickly. Brian drives it forward. He's got away. Gets wrestled off the ball. It's a very good battle there. Terrific to watch.
It's believing too much in his own ability to hold on to the ball.
Onomar. Brian. More than happy to take the muscular approach. And it's Pogba. Seri. Totthem. Kenny. Seri. Onomar. If you have just joined us, you'll be glad to know that you haven't missed a goal. Hits one! Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Pogba. Ronaldo pushes to get on the end of it. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Mbappe.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
Onomar. Up towards the front line. And that'll be the final action of the first half. Well, both sides have drawn blanks. They have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means. An engrossing half, but we're still where we started, 0-0. So we're just settling back into this second half. 0-0 then, and we're back on the way. Bruno Fernandes. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, no, that's not the ball he wanted. Kenny. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo! Out of play for a goal kick. Fulham are making a change now. Totthem. Fulham were quick to defend their manager in the wake of criticisms levelled at him in recent days.
Listen, there's just no hiding place, and it was refreshing to hear him admit to getting it wrong. He miscalculated.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo! He's delivered all right!
Well, that's what the top players do. The ability to seize the initiative at crucial times in the game. And now this second half has a completely different outlook.
Well, from right in front of goal, there was no way he was going to miss.
Well, considering he has a bit of a shoot-on-sight policy, he was the one player that should have been picked up then. It was both careless and costly from where I'm sitting.
A 1-0 lead established.
Surprise, surprise. He just keeps on delivering, and listen, we all expect that.
Good idea, just poorly executed. Terence Congolo.
Everything they would have spoken about in that dressing room during the break has a greater chance of happening thanks to the early goal. It's the perfect platform now to go on and try to win it.
Son Heung-min. Mbappe. Cristiano. He's had a shot! It was a matter of inches.
Cristiano Ronaldo nearly produced a moment of magic. He knew the strike was pure. Manchester United really are enduring a frustrating spell when it comes to trying to move the ball around the midfield.
It's one! It's there! And there's the goal they've been looking for.
Manchester United are really pouncing on any stray passes in midfield. We're talking seconds from interception to the back of the net. It's counter-attacking heaven.
Manchester United have a couple of goals without reply. It's 2-0.
Well, unsurprisingly, Peter, the opposition look completely stunned. I'm not sure they can gather themselves.
Kearney has got himself a free kick. Seri. Mbappe gets it back. Totthem. Terence Congolo. Pinged forward. Fulham to retain the ball, but are seemingly in no rush to break forward. It's a great gallop down the right-hand side. He's left his man. Hit into them. Gets up to head it! Oh, just needed a better contact.
Manchester United can defend those situations better by stopping the crosser at source.
And it's Mitrovic. Onuma. Mbappe. Good running with the ball. Can they build on it? Whose ball? Who's going to get that? No, no way through there. And the finish! And it's there! And they are pulling clear here. And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Well, you know, sometimes it pays off not to think too much about things, just put your foot through it, and that was a good example. Great contact, and the keeper had very little chance. Well, you have to feel a little for the player being taken off here. I think he's been made the scapegoat after that, but I guess something had to be done. I suppose it did need a little change.
Manchester United take a 3-goal lead, and they are romping out of sight. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up. Mbappe has not played the ball, that's a foul. There could be trouble here. For now, the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket. That's the sort of defending that is going to upset the opposition. Kearney with the foul. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card. Great strike, but the keeper's equal to it. He's kept it out just.
Cristiano Ronaldo cannot really be faulted for having a go. He's usually more capable.
He's got options out wide. It's a fine run and he's happy to keep going. A chance to play it in. Son Heung-min battles to win it back. Well, that looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Tries one! Big relief, it just needed better contact. Looking cross-field, changing the point of attack. And here's Mitrovic. Mitrovic gets flagged offside. Shaw. Crunching tackle. Brian. Good challenge, he just stood firm. Now some movement on the bench, and we are going to see a change.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle.
Kearney just brushed off the ball there. And that's that. Manchester United, very much the dominant side, almost the only side. Every time they got on the ball, they look like scoring. It is a landslide. Would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Manchester United simply made their superiority count. They found cruise control quite early and didn't need to go to turbo.
Remains for me to thank Jim Beglin for joining us and to wish you a very good day.